I was on the train back from the city earlier today, and I was literally zoning out, thinking about people from the past. For some reason, I can't find myself too angry with people who I should be angry with. If you were to ask me, who am I enemies with? I couldn't give you an answer because I'm not holding on to anything personal like that, or maybe at least not consciously. If someone says they're my enemy, I mean, they're beefing with themselves because I'm not thinking about them like that. But that's part of hate and animosity, though. You can mature out of a situation, but sometimes people have a lot to hold on to still. Sometimes people just don't like you for reasons that you don't care enough about to invest your energy into. So I saw this video. It was recommended to me on Instagram, and I want to know what you guys think about this.
So, babe, you really out here crying over your ex, though?
Yes, why is you doing this? Like,
He's gone. He died. Like, why is you out here crying over your ex? We in a whole relationship, though. Why is you out here crying over your ex? Seriously. What you mean you need closure? Like, this dude used to beat your ass. He cheated on you and you out here crying? We've been together for 3 years. You out here crying over your ex because he died. Come here, man. Listen here. I can't believe that you're crying over this dude, bro. I would never listen. I would never cry over my ex. How am I disrespecting you? You out here crying over this dude.
Like you need to give me space.
Give you space?
Yeah, so I can just have a moment. I need a moment.
What you mean? I can't listen. You disrespecting me though. Like, come on, you in a whole relationship and you crying over your ex because he's dead and gone. Like, I can't believe you out here. I hope you don't think you're going to the funeral either. Like, seriously. What you mean? Yes. No, you can't go to the funeral. Are you serious? Yes, I'm serious.
Why?
I'm serious.
Wrong? Like, why I can't go to the funeral?
I can't believe you out here crying over your ex, bruh. Like, this dude did you so wrong, man. So wrong. I came in your life. I treat you good. We've been together for 3 years, and you crying over your ex that you broke up with 3 years ago.
Right, but he's gone. You shouldn't be mad about him. He's gone.
I'm not mad. Like, he's gone, bro. I would never go to any of my ex funerals, bro. Like, once we're gone, once we over with, it's over with. Like, I can't believe you out here really crying.
This seems like a skit to me. Perhaps I am just insensitive, but this doesn't seem like an actual situation that happened, but it could happen. And that raises a question about exactly what I was talking about. Listen, if I'm going to be real here, if I got a phone call and my ex died, well, I gotta think about which ex. Actually, I would say all of them. It'll be like, ring ring, hey, is this Andre? And I'll be like, hello, who is speaking here? Yeah, so remember your ex? She dead, bro. And I'll just be like, damn. All right, thank you for calling. Goodbye. And I'll just hang up. That sounds so rude the way I just said that. It's like, I don't mean to, but that's how I really be. I'll be like, oh, that's so condolences. And I'll be like, all right, well, I gotta move on with my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't know how I'm supposed to feel. I feel like that phone call is one of those moments where I'll cry about it later when I'm feeling really emotional. Sometimes things don't emotionally hit you for the moment until it's shared later with you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, how do y'all feel? If you found out your ex died, would you cry? I'm not talking about an ex or an old friend that you just recently got away from. I'm not talking about something recent. Yeah, if I got out of a relationship like a week ago, obviously my phone is going off. My bad, y'all. Okay, and if I just got out of a relationship a week ago or something like that, obviously I would feel bad about my ex, even if I'm mad at them. But otherwise, if you've moved on and sort of had that moment of recognizing why you two aren't good together and all the negative experience that caused you two to split, you might not even feel anything about this person. And not all relationships end bad, of course. I'm just speaking in that sense. What gets me like so upset with not being friends or lovers with somebody is, even if we end up on good terms, right? Even if we end on good terms, I get frustrated or mad because I feel like my time was wasted. That's always the thing I fear the most. And what aggravates me the most about it is I'm not going to get the time back. What do I mean by fear, by the way? I say I fear it the most, and it also aggravates me, right? I mean, when we're on the topic of like not being in contact anymore because of a breakup, or we're just not going to be friends anymore, when we're talking about that, like I know what's going to happen, I get so upset because it's like, what was all of this for? You finna just not be friends with me now? We finna break up now? Like all that time we put in together, all that hard work, all that emotion, like we spent so much time together and we built each other up so much and we even learned from one another. And now you're just going to throw it away? It's so cruel to me sometimes, especially when the reason is not on good terms. Someone was talking to me about it the other day, talking about how much they're not happy with themselves and what they've become because of the medication that they're taking. And they're like talking about throwing everything we did away because they're not the same anymore. Look, I get being hard on yourself is a thing. And let's say you do need time for yourself, but to just throw us away forever is so selfish. That's like one of the only ways to really make me upset, with someone in the moving future. Just keep in touch. And listen, I'll give you space. Just keep in touch. That's all I'm asking. And this person who I'm talking about tries to do things and it's not meant to hurt me, but they do it anyway. But at the same time, again, throwing away everything and running away from those who love you is not the solution. It never is the solution. And I get it too, because when I'm upset, I isolate. When I'm very hard on myself, I isolate. I don't want anything to do with my loved ones because I don't want to be a burden to them. And, sometimes that doesn't work out. But, you know what? Even though I'm going through something and I tell my friends like, hey, I'm going through something, I need space, I want to isolate or I just disappear, I at least keep in contact. Be like, hey, I'm just going through something. I'm alive. Okay. I'm doing my thing. Just letting you know. And some people, they don't care for that. And I feel resonating anger for the future, even on good terms, because now I'm not so attached to somebody. I'm thinking about all the things I dealt with this person. Things that I put up with, things that I let them do, things that you only start to realize after you detach from somebody. Then you get even more mad. You start to see the actual bad side of things that you were blind to. Wasting your time is like the worst because you start thinking about all the broken promises you two made to each other. Like, seriously, imagine making up, or I wouldn't say making up, imagine making a bunch of vows to someone and promises, then in the end, nothing ever came true and both of you guys screwed up. Or maybe one of you screwed everything up. What was the point of doing all that stuff for? Why even say I imagine? I'm sure it happened to a lot of you. I've dealt with it a lot personally. You tell me this, next thing you know, you break the promise. Someone told me that once that they cope with those promises by not having much expectations for people. And I think I went over this in an older episode, but I feel like that can go down a bad path if it's not the right one. You might meet someone amazing, but because you shielded yourself so far away, maybe you have like you're surrounded by like a fort or something like that. Maybe because you're putting your shield up and you have no expectations for people, that person may not open up as much. Then you just missed out on an opportunity, even though you met someone amazing who may have been the best for you. And just to make it clear, there's nothing wrong about being angry towards someone who you once cared about. Rather, anger is one of the stages of grieving. Isn't it like right after denial or something like that, which can be explained as having a fear or shock or confusion and avoidance. Once that's over, you start going through anger, frustration, and so forth after you go through those previous stages I just mentioned. Something like that. I don't know. Let me correct myself too. Okay? It doesn't have to be about someone who you once cared about. It can also be about someone who you still care about. Like, there's nothing wrong with feeling angry about those type of people. What we can also say, out of fairness, hating on someone from your past is the biggest mistake you can make, because now they're living rent-free in your head. Yo, you ever check up on an old friend or ex, but like not communicate with them, but you see their pictures on Facebook or Instagram and they look so happy without you? That sort of distaste is part of hating. Like, I don't know. Someone was mentioning this a few episodes ago in the comments. They mentioned that they feel lonely or jealous when they see large friend groups in online games. And personally, I don't feel lonely about it, but I'll only feel jealous if it's somebody I know. When I used to play Dota 2 a lot, I was really jealous when the party was full and my friends were playing without me. It's like, yo, you're supposed to be holding a spot for me. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I would low-key be hating on the people in the party. Like, yo, how could you invite this guy? He trash. Like, I'm way better than him. You just invited him because you had an open slot. You could have say something for me. And out of fairness, I'm just being petty at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes I would mention it to my friends and be like, yo, make a new party and bring me in. Y'all inviting these doo-doo players. I don't care if it's a mutual friend. That's jealousy, bro. That's my jealousy. And if you don't invite me still, I just feel some type of way. I start getting even more petty. I'll play solo. If they invite me to a party afterwards, I'll be like, nah, go play with them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Listen, I know I'm going on a tangent about this. It's not completely relevant to the topic of this episode, but hating on someone who you know is indeed a big mistake, because even with the small story I just told here, even being a business, no, hating on someone is indeed a big mistake, even with the small story I just told here, because you got to realize how much energy it takes to do that. So much emotional energy invested into people who aren't even thinking about it like that. You know what I'm saying? I've been on the other side of it too. I've been in parties and Dota 2 game parties where we left someone out. And I'm not thinking about them because I'm busy enjoying myself in the game. But meanwhile, they're investing so much into it. Same for exes and old friends. When I used to do live streams on this channel, I still remember some of y'all were telling me how unhealthy it was when I mentioned that how I was able to detach from someone and begin to lose memories of them completely. I used to say, if someone is not my friend anymore, I completely forgot about you within the next hour or so. I think that's how I suppressed my emotions about people. I still do it if someone really bothered me. I just start forgetting about you. It's sad because remember that girl I said I used to date where I switched up my diet for, right? I went vegan for her because she, you know, all that. I told this story like a million times, but like I switched up my diet for her, right? I don't even remember her name anymore. I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. I don't even know if she even watches these episodes or listens to this. But no disrespect to her. I forgot what her name is. I don't even remember the name of my ex before that. I remember what they look like, but I don't remember their personality much or other features too clearly. I don't know if that sounds bad, but it has saved me the stress from being emotionally attached to them still. I don't even hate on any of them either. I don't hate them. I just forgot about them. And I guess that's how I end up not hating on it. You know what I'm saying? The thing is, when you hold on to people in the past and feel bitterness towards them, you sort of miss out on new opportunities. That can mean meeting new people or finding someone else who can actually truly make you happy. If you spend more time thinking about the past and how angry you are about it, you won't find something good to look for in the future. Negative emotions and hatred is literally home to tension and stress. Imagine what that does to your mental and physical health over long periods of time. And then what happens is when you have so much anger and hatred, that carries over to your genuine conversations with people who aren't even involved in the reason why you're angry to begin with. And a lot of people are unfortunately like that. They're stressed out about life. They got so much stress going on in their life or whatever, and there's so much anger going off that they naturally come off as rude, or they enter a cycle of negativity in conversations. This destroys friendships, relationships, anything that goes on with your friends and family. And I've been there too. I've been angry with life several times, and then I'm coming off really grumpy against people who did nothing wrong to me. So like, is there any way to fix this? I mean, the whole forgiveness angle is not realistic for everyone. You know, that people always say that just forgive them, bro. That's how you get rid of the hatred. Just forgive everybody. You know, I understand it's the easiest sounding thing to do, to just let go and just forgive people. But in my opinion, I feel like a good way to truly fix a hatred you have for someone in the past is to express it to someone. Sometimes you need someone to listen to you rant about someone or somebody. Or is that the same thing? Someone or somebody? I'm about to say something or somebody. And don't think this is too black and white, okay? This is not a black and white thing to do, is just let people rant. Because most people are not very good listeners. They act like they're good listeners, but they're not good listeners. When someone approaches me, for example, to rant about somebody or something, I don't even talk. Literally, I just let them ramble on. I let them just complain. It's interesting how this works because a lot of my friends, they'll contact me to complain about things. Meanwhile, I never give feedback unless someone wants my feedback. I'm not saying I'm the best listener on the planet because I don't speak my own part and I just let people rant to me and ramble while I say nothing and sit there and just absorb all the information. It just means I am able to provide emotional support. That's it. Sometimes that's just needed. One of the mistakes I made in the past was I would use YouTube as an outlet for emotional support when I was angry. These angry like appearances for me, like the video essays I write now, especially if you've been here in the past, some of my videos a long time ago were very angry like. Now it's more mellow. It's just me simply casually having a conversation with you. And it helps too because it makes me organize my thoughts, which I'll talk about later. And that's why I'm uploading so consistently ever since I got out of the ward. I don't write in a journal anymore. So, well, not true. Okay, the Aku anime is my journal. And a journal I share with you all, which brings a point. If you don't have someone who can listen to you rant, first of all, I'm here, okay? I don't respond on Discord, but my Instagram DMs are always open if you want to rant privately to me. You know what I'm saying? Second of all, you can just write a rant in the comment section to the video, you know, or whatever video I last uploaded or something like that. Sometimes I don't read older comments to other videos, but you know, I'm reading it. I'll listen. Third of all, if it's too private for you to talk about in general, if you don't want to share it with me, simply write it out yourself. By the way, this is probably the last time, like I don't know how to explain this, man. Something about this game, man. Something about this game. This might be the last. I think this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna play this game in the background because I've been so bored out of my mind. It's a good game. It's hard, but I just don't let me repeat myself 100 times about my stance on gaming. Okay, like I might just pop in Baldur's Gate 3 again and just let that take over. I just might play solo Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? I invited a few people to play. They're all busy. All my best friends are like living life right now, and like I'm still sitting on the computer the whole damn day. So they don't have time to play Minecraft with me, and I don't want to play with people who I don't really know because we'll never be consistent. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, listen, I don't even want to play anything new. You see that lady in the gameplay footage from earlier? She was wilding out on me. But where am I going with this? This is why I like games like Skyrim or Fallout or Baldur's Gate 3 or Sims. I like games where I can escape reality and have full control of or most control of the narrative. It feels like I can escape whatever I'm hurting about or whatever I'm mad about. So, by the way, and a lot of people do that too. You escape reality to be in a video game. And that's why, listen, if somebody says gaming is for weaklings or some shit like that, bro, it's therapy for some people. It's therapy for me. I just keep playing the same games for a reason. I'm just not into gaming like, I just want, oh, new game came out, I can't wait to play this. Or let me try this game. I don't want to try anything. Okay? Like, I literally don't want to try it. It's thereby, you know what I'm saying? It feels like it's like a mental journal thing going on in my life that I could just play these games and just escape reality. And next video, I'm probably going to play Fallout, maybe New Vegas, because I never beat the game, okay? So I should probably get to it. Or maybe I'll play Yu-Gi-Oh! Tag Force. It's like an open world RPG, except it's like a Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. At the same time, I played it as a kid. That's something new. What I'm trying to say is that even though I'm not that invested into gaming, gaming can be used as a journal. Tell a story through it. One thing that I'm very hard on myself about is I always feel like I don't do enough. That's been one of my consistent things that's been lasting for years. I always feel like I'm mediocre. And I know for a fact I can make something better. It haunts me a bit. It feels like I feel like this with music. You guys say that certain songs are good, even though the songs that you guys say that are good, I hate them. I don't know why. And the songs that I think are bad, y'all like them. I don't get it. But I listen to it, and I don't know if this is something that people who do artistic things do, because I'm sure if you draw or you paint, you look at some of your older stuff and you be thinking, I could do better. I could make this better. Even with YouTube videos. This video, I could have made it 5 minutes longer if I just continued on a specific topic. Video ended too abruptly. Did I carry on too much about a specific thing? This video could have been better. And when I'm programming, same situation. I be overthinking my code. Listen, my subconscious mind has this self-esteem issue where no matter what I do, I feel mediocre. And look, it's coming off negative too. So I'm not content with that. Maybe I am to some of you. Maybe I'm mediocre to some of you guys here. But consciously, I have a mental note that I can do way better than whatever I put my mind to. I just don't know if y'all can relate to what I'm saying here. But this is why when I talk about gaming and open world stuff and self-inserting in the game, I cannot be mediocre. In video games, you don't have to be mediocre. You could be something great, especially when you put yourself into the game and you immerse yourself. So I don't worry about other people outside of the game or building hatred for people in the past or myself when my imaginary self is doing something better. It sounds so schizo. And trust me, the amount of times I try to close my eyes and manifest it in real life, it ain't happened yet. Okay. So this is overall why I'm saying that one of the best ways to deal with hatred towards people or exes or stuff like that is to share it with somebody or live through it in another way. And I know hatred is pure negativity. So I do offer a positive perspective, like when you really think about it. And here's the perspective. All your exes or old friends, they offered an experience that hopefully you learned from or grew from. Yeah, they did something that made you ultimately unhappy with them or angry with them. Even if you ended on good terms, you're going to feel some sort of way later on once you begin to detach. But if it wasn't for them doing this, you wouldn't be going through a learning process. And sometimes I do not wish I met some of the people from my past. Sometimes I wish they never existed, because even though the experience with them taught me stuff, let's be a little bit realistic here, because it can't be too positive when I say, oh, this person hurt me, I learned a lot. No, let's be realistic here. It doesn't disqualify the damage it did, nor the everlasting effect. This year alone, many of you probably have been hurt by people, but it may have left more of a wound and a deep scar over anything. But at the same time, it taught you something. It doesn't have to be a negative lesson either. You can't always blame other people for being the way that they are. We all slip up. We all let our guard down with someone who we can feel like can really hurt us. But we let our guard down because we want to trust people. And some people take that for granted. But despite the pain, maybe we learn some empathy through anger, or we can build more self-awareness. Look, I think we've been mad at somebody in the past, right? And then later on be like, yeah, I kind of get why they're like that, right? Somebody in the past, you think about that. Yeah, I get it now. I get it. And maybe you critique yourself for how you were in the past yourself. It can hurt when you never truly get a chance to apologize. And that is one of the only moments I can see forgiveness being a reasonable moment for everyone. Forgiveness, the first step, is having self-awareness. If you can't find understanding, how can you forgive? How will you find a way to forgive besides lying to somebody and saying that you forgive them when you really don't? And an understanding comes from knowing that people are the way they are due to their own experiences and upbringings. I think that's why I said it's hard for me to find myself having enemies now, because I sort of empathize with this for the past few years now. Something really makes people tick a certain way, and I can't get mad about it because I have full control over how I react to it and how much emotional energy I give to it. What's the saying? Life is 10% what you do and 90% how you react to it. I think that's how it goes. Or maybe I said it the opposite way, 90% of how you react to things and 10% what you do. I can't get mad that this is how I react to things. So I got to work on how I react to things so I don't end up in a bad situation like that. So while we feel something towards an ex or an old friend, the distance you have with them now, it's not something to forget. Don't forget what they taught you at the same time. Even though there may be scars, it's something you can use to represent wisdom from the lessons learned. the challenges you ended up facing too, and the victories you had, and even the losses that you have shown resilience to. It's an acknowledgement of the impact people had on our lives while also putting into perspective the growth we had. This wisdom can be the stepping stone to understanding how our future conversations and interactions go with other people. That's why you shouldn't hold on to things like hatred for someone. I mentioned before that it drags on to the next friendship or relationship, right? You feel this hatred. It drags on. You start integrating it into your next interactions with people. Furthermore, back to the video in the beginning of this episode where she's talking about her ex died or something like that, I think it's justified to cry. But the argument can be made that holding on to someone, even if they hurt you, can bring emotions that affect others. Now you see, I still think it's a skit, but now you see the guy, he's like, well, he hit you, and then why you still feel some type of way? Like, you see how it's affecting people when you hold on to somebody still? Like, that's why I'm saying, see, I sounded crazy in the beginning of the video. I sounded like, oh, I said, oh, well, yeah, oh, that's sad, goodbye, and I just hung up the phone, right? Like, I sound like, damn, Aku, you crazy or something like that? How you have no emotion, someone who died? Like, but because I let go. I have no emotional connection to them anymore. I can't feel sad about it. Yeah, okay, I feel sad. Okay, yeah, died, but am I gonna sit there and cry about it? I'm gonna feel some way. I'm probably gonna think about like, damn, yeah, I remember dating her. I remember the good times we had, etc., etc. And listen, here's the thing, because I think this may be confused here. Nobody's asking anyone to forget the past. Nobody's asking a single person to forget what happened in the past. And if you think I'm trying to say that in this episode, you missed the point. My thing is, memories do last forever. Even if they're suppressed, there's still something lingering that may awaken this past thought. So you need to be careful. It's about keeping what you learned from that experience. It's about protecting yourself later in the future and understanding that this shouldn't drag on to your future conversations and interactions with other people. And even though a relationship may have ended poorly, perhaps you figured out things like, hey, even though this ended on a poor way and I'm angry with them, maybe communication was a bit more important than I thought. Remember I was talking about the first thing is self-awareness before you start forgiving? Maybe you did something wrong. Stop worrying about the things they did wrong completely. What happened here? What really happened for you to truly make somebody split apart from you? Yes, they may not be a good person, but you also got to control what you can control. Be self-aware of the stuff you can be self-aware of. Maybe I wasn't very understanding and respectful about certain things. Maybe I let my anger get too far ahead. Maybe I said certain things during arguments that weren't good. Listen, I'm speaking for myself too with that one. Sometimes I could be a great boyfriend. And then when I'm arguing and I'm super mad, I remember past times, super mad, I'm going off. I'm being really mean when I'm talking to somebody because I'm mad. But other times, yeah, I'm just cool. I'm just chill. Just being mellow, and yeah, this is how it is, and yeah, I love you and all that stuff. I'm just being me, and next thing you know, I'm super mad. Now it's like, it feels like there's a wrath coming, the wrath of Aku. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, maybe I should, and I figured that out myself. I'm thinking maybe I should stop cussing when I'm like arguing with somebody, Maybe I should stop being so angry. Like, I shouldn't explode in anger all the time. Maybe I should control how I speak to people a little bit more when I'm angry. Okay, whatever this person made me angry for, maybe it's justified I should be mad. But still, there's things I got to work on myself. And me being angry and the way I speak to people when I'm angry doesn't make the situation better. And that's all I could do. That's what you got to do. And, I should have just been more respectful about certain things. Maybe I should have made this person feel more beautiful. Or maybe I should have created better boundaries so I can be a certain type of way to this person rather than get hurt by them. I'm the one who, you see what I'm talking about here? Y'all be blaming other people for them hurting you, but who opened the door for them? Listen, and you may twist this in the most negative way, like I'm victim shaming. Bruh, This is what I'm talking about, where you learn the lesson though. You learn, maybe I shouldn't open up that quickly. Maybe I should have saw that sign and I should have protected myself. Yeah, I'm the victim. I'm hurt, but at the same time, I'm smarter now. I'm smarter now not to open up like that. Not to trust somebody. So it wouldn't happen again. Being a victim of certain things hurts a lot. Being victims is being victims. Being a victim of many things lingers. But how much time are you going to feel sorry for yourself versus when you decide, you know what, there's certain things I could have done differently? It's hard to remember the positives when the negatives outweigh you. It's a survival mechanism where our brain has a bias towards negative experiences. That's literally what survival mechanisms do. This is psychology here. So I get it. It's just when you write about it or share your experiences with someone, like I suggested earlier, where you need someone to rant to or something like that, you can at least provide clarity and organize your emotions. If it's just sitting inside of your head, mixing in with your other conscious thoughts, is never going to be resolved the way it should. You're thinking about 20 different things during the day. And meanwhile, you're holding on to something that makes you angry or upset with somebody in the past, never finding resolve for it. And it's difficult, but it's a step on moving forward and leaving that hatred in the past. And that's all you got to do. Harder than it sounds. Or it's not as easy as it looks, right? Did I just flip that? It's not as easy as it looks. But this is just how I perceive this. This is how I work or deal with my stuff. This is how I think has helped me resolve a lot of things that made me hate people in the past or be unhappy with people in the past. Hopefully it could be helpful to one of you guys or girls or he, she, they, them, A, B, C, D, F, G, L, M, N, O, P. I don't know. Okay. It's time how I mess up my outro. It's time we go our different ways. It's another missed call.
Another missed call. I said let's go two different ways. That's another missed call. Saying that I'll never leave and stay. That's another missed call. Hearing back from you and I wait. That's another missed call. Those desires for you start to fade. That's another missed call. That's another missed call. That's another missed call. That's another missed call. Thinking that I outgrow people more than I outgrow life.